Right, so now we've transferred our image onto our Scratchboard, and it's time to scratch. Now the areas that are white on the printout are the areas that you are going to scratch, revealing your crayon colors. I'm going to repeat that. The areas that are white are the areas that you're going to scratch. I always get somebody that does it backwards and they scratch out the black stuff. It's an honest mistake, but I'm just going to say it. You need to scratch the white, which is the light shining on you. And you leave the black for the shadows. Take your time with it. Really look at where you're scratching as you're scratching. It's real easy to scratch off something that you really should have kept. And once it's gone, you'd have to repaint part of it, which you can do. But then you would have to wait for it to dry before you could scratch again. When I do something like this, I keep flipping over the paper and checking just to make sure I am scratching the right areas, constantly flipping over and checking on it as I scratch. Now, I am using a little bamboo scratching tool. It's the kind of stuff you make shish kebabs out of. But there are other kind of tools that'll work. You could use a toothpick. You could use a popsicle stick. I've even cut popsicle sticks the long way to make them more pointy. There are a lot of tools around the house that you could probably use to scratch off this stuff. I really like these skewers that you use for shish kebab, though. I think they work the best, and you can even sharpen them in a regular pencil sharpener. Now, you might find an area that's a little bit hard to scratch off. That's all about how hard you pushed with your crayons when you were coloring in the first place. But even if you pushed really hard with your crayons, sometimes you find a stubborn spot anyway. So don't worry about it too much. Just do your best and scratch it the best as you can. When I do one of these, I seem to always touch it up a little bit at the end with a little bit of paint, and that's okay to do. But really, you want to pay attention and scratch the correct shapes. It's just easier in the end that way. So I'm constantly checking my printout. Remember to do that. I even scratched a little bit too much on this eye and had to paint it over again to get the black back. That's okay. Those kind of mistakes happen. Try your best to even get the tiny spots of the eyes that will really bring out your personality and make it look like you. Don't rush it. Take your time with it. And if you stick with it, then bam, it really will look like you. All the light from the original picture that we use the threshold on Photoshop with will show up as light. And you will be different cool colors, and these things look really great. I definitely want to put them up in the hallways, so take your time with it. And yeah, I hope you like this as much as I do.